The 101st running of the CF Stakes is on. A great field assembled. Everyone on course enjoying a family day out in the first Group 1 of the calendar year. Richo caught up with Tom Charlton.
Tom Charlton and John O'Shea have a live chance in a big Group 1 in Schwartz, mate. He was fantastic in the Australia Stakes. How's he been since?
Yeah, look, we feel we've had a really good 2 weeks. It was a tough enough first up run, the way that he sort of ran the race, but really bounced that a bit well, and he's had a gooder 2 weeks we could have hoped coming into the run, and a nice piece of work here on Tuesday morning, presents beautifully, so we're happy.
Similar tactics?
I think so. I think it looks a reasonably sort of similar setup, I guess, to his first up run. It's clearly a running style he appreciates, so that sort of outside barrier will give Blake options to allow him to roll forward and work out sort of best interest for the horse.
And very good.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Brightside, he's been an absolute stalwart. Can he make it 9 Group 1s, back-to-back CF4s? Richo, he's been a star for Lindsay Park.
And he could be the most successful Lindsay Park Group 1 horse in their history. He could go past the mighty Better Loosen Up. Can Schwartz take his brilliance to 1,400 metres?
I think he can, and I'd love to see Tom Charlton getting his first Group 1 victory. He's a son of a gun. He's made his own name in Australia with John O'Shea, and this was an emphatic performance. A lot of the horses, if they're not first up, they come out of the Australia Stakes.
Samana's to be ridden by a young Thomas Stockdale. Kieran Maher's got so much faith in him. Could he reward him here? And Blake McDougall has a live chance on a horse who's promised to be a Group 1 horse, Stapati. I think he gets his best possible chance today.
He certainly does. And when you look at these young trainers who we just mentioned, Tom trying to get his first Group 1 victory with John O'Shea, he's grown up in the game, and this would be a big moment for him.
Oh, his father Roger was just an outstanding trainer in England, and brought some horses out to Australia to run in the great race, the Melbourne Cup. There won't be a dry eye in the house if Jamie Mellon can win a Group 1 in the memory of her mentor in Cole McKenna. Janice and the family are hopefully here in their family colours, and he's always promised to be a Group 1 horse. He gets his chance today in the first Group 1 for 2025, 101st running of the CF Stakes. Let's start with the $16 million chant, Mr. Brightside.
Oh, he's just a marvel, isn't he? He's looks as though he's got a bit of improvement still to come, but he's perfect for 1,400 metres first up into the preparation. He's got a terrific record. 4 goes first up for 3 wins and 1 minor placing. Southport Tycoon, I was a little bit disappointed with the way that he performed last time out. He does look as though he has definitely improved in his coat. It's become a little bit more richer, and so he's obviously training on nicely, but I wanted to see a touch more from him on that resumption.
And maybe the blinkers going on for Kieran Maher might be the thing that really switches him on. One of 3 runners for Kieran Maher. Well, Pinstripes defeated Mr. Brightside in the past over 1,400 metres at weight for age. Different though, that was coming off a winter into a spring. Mr. B's got residual fitness, so does Pinstripe, but I think Mr. B's better than him.
Yeah, it's safe to say the record would say that. Stapati, I was so impressed with his performance. He will definitely appreciate stepping up in trip after the run in the Australia Stakes. He paraded beautifully on that occasion. He backs it up with a great parade again. I think he's way over the odds. I think he should be into single figures because of his performance. He's probably just not a fashionable horse.
Well, he's a good roughie, I think, and he's over the odds, isn't he? Another Will's another. And I suppose it's the weight for age. The fact you meet Mr. Brightside on level weights, that's the big query for both Stapati and Another Will. They've promised to be a Group 1 horse. Another Will's won a Group 2. He was fantastic winning the Lithgow during Cup Week. I think this is an outstanding roughie in Freedom Rally. Don't underestimate him. That run behind Pericles was huge in the 5 Diamonds. It's not fashionable, but Tony Gollan has got an opinion of this guy. He will run out of his skin for mine.
He does look incredibly well, and he's coming off of a late spring campaign as well, so again holds that residual fitness. Along with this guy who's had his first up run, he was brilliant over the sprinting trip of the Australia Stakes, the Group 2 event. He did have to fend off a few horses who were finishing strongly, so up 200 metres in trip is going to be the point where he might be a bit vulnerable. Samana, she has been so unfortunate not to win a Group 1 through her career so far. Third in the last start performance on the Gold Coast, so she again has got that residual fitness and she looks very bright and well.
Owned by champion Australian cricketer in Dave Warner, who captained the Sydney Thunder to a Big Bash final against the Hurricanes. Here's a quality Perth 4-year-old mare called Super Smink coming across. Always respect that Perth form. Her Perth form, though, is not the absolute elite. She won an Asian Bow, but for mine, you need to be elite in Perth to be able to win this race. And then we get to a 3-year-old who's tackling the older boys, but he's got a good CV.
Well, when Chris Waller aims horses like this up in weight for age events, you have to really take notice. We've spoken about what he's done so far this preparation or last prep, winning the Guineas. He could come back a Group 1 winner, no problem.
Craig, for allowing us to eavesdrop, as he, as always, is the consummate professional. Who's the pick of the yard?
Oh, I found this a tough one. I'm with Stapati. I just thought he presented beautifully. I know that he probably doesn't have the right CV necessarily for this race, running second in an Australian Stakes, but he just looked absolutely fantastic. I tell you what, that guy on screen, Southport Tycoon, has definitely improved. He does look, he's not an overly big or robust horse, but he does look as though he's come on nicely in his coat. So he's one that you have to take notice of. He's certainly on notice, isn't he, after his last start. And Mr. B ticks the boxes. So does Another World, so does Private Life. Great race coming up. He's an absolute champion. I mean, I think any of these stories would be great ones.
There they are. A penny for your thoughts, lads, as to what you think about Mr. B, who's the market mover.
Another will be our sports bet market mover. Does need to make the step up here, but you have a look at the stats. 4 from 6 at 1400. I mentioned Jamie Carr's record. 7 of his wins have been with Jamie Carr in the saddle, and on good track, 6 from 8. So the numbers tick all the boxes for Another Will. He's just got to go and do it at Group 1 company, Richard.
And the champ makes all the contenders wait for him. You get down there, mill behind the barriers. I'm just going to take my time to get there.
I think he's allowed to, isn't he, after his performances and his career thus far. They're all little upstarts, and he's coming down the old statesman of the turf.
Katie, what do you think? Is it the $16 million champ to win Group 1 number 9?
Oh, he's just a superstar, isn't he? But I'm actually with Schwartz, Richo. I loved his performance first up. I just know that he's always had Group 1 ability, and he's been meticulously placed from John O'Shea and Tom Charlton. They've put him away after the Rising Fast. That was over the spring where he had issues. They've just made sure they've got him back to his best. And I do think if there's a Group 1 that he can win, it's this one first up, whilst the other horses are first up. All the other horses are first up, so he's had the run under his belt. I think Another Will's a great chance, and the 3-year-old Private Life. Of course, All Too Hard did this, as well as Redute's Choice in the same season, win the Caulfield Guineas and the CF4 Stakes. So that would be a nice spot for him in the history books.
So you feel un-Australian, don't you, Katie, mentioning going against Mr. Brightside. But we're set for a ripper. Last few horses to load. Matt Hill, the gun caller, is ready to call. The 101st running of the CF4 Stakes, our first Group 1 for 2025.
The Super Smink goes in, pinstriped, completing it now. The favourite, Mr. Brightside, drawn barrier 8. Pinstripe needing just a little bit of encouragement to come along. Goes in now, set for the oar. The 101st running. Set, and they're racing. Beautiful line too. Samana's going back to the end with Pinstriped. Another Will. Noses Private Life in the early strides, and then came Schwartz out deeper. Stapati's nice and close outside of Southport Tycoon. Mr. Brightside, initially 4th or 5th, is now moving around the field. So it's Schwartz leading off the back at the 1,000 metres by a length to Mr. Brightside. They were followed by in 3rd Private Life, and then Another Will. A length and a half Southport Tycoon. Stapati. 2 lengths Freedom Rally the outside of Super Smink, and then towards the end of the field, Samana and also Pinstripe. They continue their journey past the 800, where it's Schwartz striding out, tries to get a buffer over the champ. So the leader, Schwartz, by 2 lengths, Mr. Brightside, a length and 3/4, Private Life. Then came another Will, a length and a half, Southport Tycoon at the 500. Further back is Stapati, Super Smink, Samana, Freedom Rally and Pinstripe. Schwartz comes up towards the corner, tries to run them ragged as they reach the 350. It's off the rails. Mr. Brightside is idling up. Private Life's got to run up on the inside, then another Will. Mr. Brightside went to the front at the 250, hands and heels. 2 lengths, another Will. Private Life, Super Smink. Mr. Brightside, 100 to go. Another Will, 3/4 of a length coming at Mr. Brightside. Mr. Brightside, another Will's got it. Another Will. An emotional win at Woolsthorpe. Another Will has won it from Mr. Brightside at Gapster Party. They were followed by Private Life, Samana in a photo, and then Southport Tycoon, Super Smink's run a race. Schwartz got tired, Freedom Rally, and behind them Pinstripes.
A moment she will never, ever, ever forget. All the highs that Jamie Carr, Jamie Mellon now, has achieved in the sport, this one will mean the most, because she's won a Group 1 for a man who meant so much to her, her mentor, Cole McKenna, who hopefully is looking on with a smile on his face. A brilliant win. Kieran Maher, another Wills, a Group 1 winner, defeats the champ. Stapati runs 3rd, Private Life runs 4th. Epic CF4.
Epic CF4, Richo. So well summed up. All I can think about is Janice McKenna and how much Cole McKenna has given to the racing industry, and Jamie Carr has worn her heart on her sleeve, especially with this horse. We spoke about how special this moment would be, and there wouldn't be a dry eye in the house. And I think that is very evident, Katie, by that performance from Another Will. This is one of those racing stories that will go down in the history books.
Yeah, it really will. What a special moment to get up in a Group 1 for the family, and they've always had so much faith in Another Will. Kieran Maher, the whole team, and Jamie. You can see there, Kieran, so emotional. What a ride. She rode him so confidently. She put him right in the spot. But it looked like he was overdoing it a touch, but with the fast sectionals that Schwartz was reeling out, it really suited him perfectly. And Mr. Brightside looked home and hosed the champion, but Another Will, just with so much grit and determination, was able to reel him in, and just a top performance. He's in for a great preparation. That was only his first up performance, so I think there'll be plenty more Group 1s to be won, I think. Lizzie?
There certainly will be a big stretch to the 3rd horse, which was Stapati, who worked into it. He was off the bit at the top of the straight. I think Mr. B will definitely improve from the run, but focusing on the winner. You can see the scenes after Another Will has been able to claim that Group 1 victory. He's been knocking on the door for oh so long. Oh, just really disappointment across JD Hayes' face and Ben, but they know that their star is still back in good fashion, and he will continue a good preparation. They just had to use him up early. But this is an interview that I'm very much looking forward to. Kieran Maher with Another Will.
Kieran, congratulations, mate. I can imagine of all of the Group 1s, of everything you've achieved in racing, that one will sit pretty high.
Very high. Everyone's here today, and bar one, but that's Colin and Janice's first horse that they've bred to win a Group 1, I'm pretty sure. So it's pretty special. We've taken our time with him, and our team have done a super job. He's always, needed that bit of time and maturity, and sort of resisted the temptation to take him to that top level, that weight per age level. And I thought this prep, he probably could, hopefully. And it was a pretty thrilling race. Mr. Brightside, he's a tough bugger to crack, and a beautiful ride by Jamie. She controlled the race. She had the perfect lead into it, and brilliant ride. Can't thank the team enough. And all the Halo Racing, Janice and all the family. It's just fantastic, so special.
He was an incredible mentor to you, more, and a friend, like a sort of a father figure, Cole McKenna.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, Cole. Yeah, he's pretty close to my. He was all of that. and just the support and that blind faith he had in, and his work ethic and the way he just ran his life and his business, and I took so much from it. So it's very, very special.
Mate, I'm thrilled for you, mate. Well done.
Cheers.
Thrilled for you.
Thanks, Kieran.
Another will. You can see the emotion in Kieran Maher's voice talking about the late Cole McKenna, who has been such a big supporter of his throughout his career. Not only that, a great mentor to Kieran Maher, and of course Jamie Carr. We've heard her speak so glowingly about how Cole McKenna has been a great influence throughout her career. And I think right now about Janice, and this horse is named after their grandson Will, a horse that has been bred by the McKennas and now being able to get a Group 1 victory. And Jamie Mellom has said the entire time, as she is able to get a Group 1 on this horse, it will be one of the most special moments throughout her career. We're seeing pictures here of Janice walking up to Another Will, and congratulating there from Josh Rodder. But this is a very, very special moment for everyone involved in what is a wonderful horse, Emma.
Oh, it's so special to see, isn't it? And of course, Jamie was part of Cole's funeral and riding on horseback on that day. They had a really close bond, and it's really special to see Janice lead him back in. And isn't she proud of everything that Kieran and the team and this wonderful, wonderful horse who's been knocking on the door in some quality contests over the last couple of preps gets his big one today. He's a horse on the up.
Yeah, he certainly is. Of course, his first Group 1, that's his 9th win, his 14th start. He's really only lightly raced. He's done plenty wrong. He's a big, strong type of horse, and Jamie knows him so well. She rides him brilliantly every time.
So that's her 16th Group 1 in her career. She continues to climb up those charts, and it won't be too much longer until she reaches that magical 20 number. But yeah, gorgeous scenes that they are embracing, and they are reflecting on a moment that no doubt Cole would love to have been a part of, but he is looking down today after a really short battle with illness. He is sadly gone, but never forgotten, and his legacy lives on in those wonderful colours, the blue and the lime green, but particularly with this horse in Another Will. To run down Mr. Brightside is no easy feat. And I doubt that that is Another Will's first Group 1. I think there's more in store.
Yeah, there certainly will be. Of course, we've seen him come up to Sydney, and there'll be bigger targets up here as well for him. And geez, come back in top order. And Richo with the star of the show, Jamie.
Jamie Mellom, everything you've achieved, everything you've done in racing, this one must sit right up near the top, mate.
Yeah, it is, because it's my first one as Jamie Mellom, but number one because Colin lifted us over the line then for his birthday. I'm just talking gibberish right now. I can't get any words out, but I was great until I saw Janice this end, and then how good. This is what racing is all about. This is amazing.
How important was he in your life as a young jockey coming through?
He put me on when I was claiming 3 and I couldn't steer to save myself, and he kept putting me on and backing me. When I went through some tough times in racing, he would call me every day, annoy me every day, and make sure I was okay, make me come and stay with him and Janice, and they were just like a second family to me. And ask anyone in this industry how amazing Colin is. They'd all, you don't normally meet people that just everyone loves.
Yeah.
He was just amazing to everyone.
Yeah, but you were special to him. What was it about your connection between the two of you?
He reminds me of my dad. They're both grumpy old men, and they're very honest, but they got the biggest hearts in the world, and that's just why he was special to me. Couldn't care less about anything else that was going on, just always rang me to make sure that I knew that he cared about me and he was there for me. It's amazing. This is all I wanted to do for Colin, and we've done it now.
That last 100 metres must have felt like it was about a kilometre.
I thought we were going to run second. I just thought he's going to run a really nice second again, and then just found Colin did something from up there and lifted him.